So as I said at the beginning of today's shir, we are living through unusual times and davening every day. It should end fast and it should end good. And it should be a Yeshua for Klal Yisrael. And everybody felt this Purim. It is as if Nes Purim is playing out before our eyes again. So we daven. And the 30 days between Purim and Pesach are defined by Chazal as Smuchi Geula leGeula. These are days of Geula. Purim was a minor Geula, a Geula in Golus. It was a minor Geula, but Klal Yisrael was saved. Pesach, we daven for the Geula Shalema. Ki yemeitzeichem me'eretz Mitzrayim arenu niflois. So that is the Geula we daven for as we approach Pesach. The Bnei Yisachar, Mamurei Chodesh Odor Mamer Dalet quotes the Chesed Lavrom. The Chesed Lavrom is one of the great Mekabolim, grandfather of the Chidah. He was one of the Gedolei Eretz Yisrael, Rabbi Avrom Azulai. And he was one of the great Makobel, and he writes the 30 days between Purim and Pesach, Kodesh Baruch Hu is Metayer Am Yisrael. And we all arrive Erev Pesach b'Tahara. He's not dealing with Tomei Tahara, the halachic Tomei v'Tahara, but rather the spiritual Tahara. And these are days in which Nishmas Yisrael are purified. So in these challenging times, we daven to a Kodesh Baruch Hu, and Shloshim Yom Lifnei HaChag, Shoylem v'Dorshem b'Helchas HaChag. Eile Pekudei Mishkan. We started the first part of the shir with the beginning of Parshas Vayakhel, and now the first pasuk in Parshas Pekudei. Eile Pekudei Mishkan, Mishkan Weiss. Asher pukad al pi Moshe. And Rashi writes, Mishkan, Mishkan shnei pa'omim. Remez lemigdosh shenes mashken b'shnei chorbonim. Alavoinoiseyem shel Yisrael. Eile Pekudei Mishkan, Mishkan hu eidus. Two bottom Mikdash were destroyed, and both alavoinoiseyem shel Yisrael. But what is the loshen shenes mashken? That is Rashi's interpretation of Mishkan. The word Mishkan, or Loshen Kodesh, could have two different translations and interpretations. Melashon shchuna, shochen. That is the Pashtus. The Mishkan is mokem hashchino, shama Kodesh Baruch Hu shochen. That is the more common interpretation of Mishkan. But Rashi says it's also a lotion of mashkon. When I take a loan, I give a mashkon. And the lender has some security and some guarantee. If the borrower is not going to pay, then I will collect my money from the mashkon he put into my possession. And Rashi writes, the Mishkan is mashkin ba'avoinoiseyem shel Yisrael. And that is a definition that is very encouraging. Kodesh Baruch Hu tells us, Kendalach, you destroyed the Beis HaMikdash. But from my point of view, the Kodesh Baruch Hu says, it's just a mashkon. When a lender lends you money and you give him a mashkon, he's not interested in the mashkon. He wants his money back. He's just holding on to your mashkon to guarantee that you're going to pay. This mashkon is your private possession. It's probably precious to you. It might be jewelry. It might be some kli kesef. So the lender is not interested. It's not a purchase. If you would want to sell and the lender would want to buy, you wouldn't take a loan. You would sell and use the money. Obviously, the borrower doesn't want to let go of that mashkon, and the lender has no real interest in that mashkon. So Kodesh Baruch Hu says, Kendalach, I don't need your Beis HaMikdash. I don't want it. I want you to have it. I want to be down there with you. I don't need your Beis HaMikdash up in the heavens. So the Beis HaMikdash that Kodesh Baruch Hu took away from us, he sees it as a mashkon. And he's waiting for the day, Kendalach, pay up, and you're going to get your Beis HaMikdash back. Pay up, and you're going to get your mashkin back. You want the mashkin. And I have no interest in that Mishkan. So Shnei Chorbone, Shnei Butemude, Shenis Mashkanu Ba'avoinoi Seyen Shel Yisrael. And the Kodesh Baruch Hu tells us, Kindalach, yes, I took away your Beis HaMikdash. It's up here in the heavens with me. But to me, it's only a Mishkan. And please, pay your dues, and you will have your Mishkan back. And you will have your Beis HaMikdash. Learn Torah, daven, be diligent in your mitzvahs, and I will be happy to return the Beis HaMikdash in his Mashkan ba'avoinoi seyen shel Yisrael. So, as I said before and I say again, these are days, challenging days, days of war. And every siren we hear should be in a way like Kol Shofar. Every siren we hear calls out to us, Uri yishene mishenaschem v'nardoma makitzum et hardamaschem. There's a terrible missile on its way. It could cause death and destruction, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is watching over you. But kindalach, Uri yishene mishenaschem. I think every siren we hear should be an awakening call. And we need to imagine it is the Kol Shofar coming out of the heavens, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is calling out to us, kindalach, come back. Daven, learn, keep your mitzvahs, and I will be more than happy to return your Mashkan, Beis HaMikdash, and his Mashkan, ba'avoinoi seyen shel Yisrael. Yiros and Sheniske. And these coming days between Purim and Pesach should be days of miracles. Uki ameitzeschem me'eretz Mitzrayim arenu neflois bebias goel tzedek b'mheru v'yameinu amen.